There is a moment in every big match where the entire outcome balances on a single decision. A moment where one call, one touch, one ruling from a screen at Stockley Park can swing 3 points, a title race and the mood of an entire fan base. Today at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal versus Chelsea served up not one of those moments, but several. And every single one of them matters deeply when you understand what is at stake at the top of the Premier League right now. Let me take you inside this match from beginning to end, because the final scoreline of 2-1 tells you the result. But it does not tell you the full story. It does not tell you about the handball that nearly was. It does not tell you about the penalty that Gary Neville said simply was not there. It does not tell you about the own goal that silenced the Emirates just before half-time. And it certainly does not tell you about the individual performances that should have Mikel Arteta lying awake tonight, even in victory. This is the full picture, and that is exactly what this channel is here to give you. The situation coming into this match was already loaded with pressure. Manchester City had won their game the day before, cutting Arsenal's lead at the top of the Premier League table to just 3 points. 3 points. After all the work Arsenal had put in across this season, City had closed the gap down to the minimum it could be without actually overtaking them. So when Arsenal stepped out at the Emirates to face Chelsea today, this was not just a home game. This was a statement game. Win and the breathing room returns. Drop points and the pressure becomes suffocating. Arsenal had to win. That is the context. Everything that happened inside that stadium today happened under that pressure. Now, before I take you through every moment of this match, I want to take a second to speak directly to you. If you are watching this channel for the first time, this is what we do here. We do not just report what happened. We analyse why it happened, what it means and what it tells us about where this Arsenal side is heading. We go deeper than the headlines. If that is the kind of analysis you want, hit that subscribe button right now and make sure you never miss a video. The Melissa Arsenal analyst community is growing, and it is growing because we take this seriously. Now let us get back into it. The stakes today were clear. Arsenal knew that a slip would not just cost them 3 points. It would hand Manchester City a psychological opening that a team of their experience knows exactly how to walk through. On the other side, Chelsea came to the Emirates as a team with nothing to lose and everything to gain. A result against the league leaders would do wonders for their own ambitions and their confidence heading into the rest of the season. What made today even more delicate was the absence of Martin Odegaard from the Arsenal squad. The Norwegian captain was not available for Mikel Arteta, and that is a significant detail. Odegaard is the engine of Arsenal's build-up play. He is the player who controls tempo, finds pockets between the lines and dictates how the team functions in the final third. Without him, Arsenal were always going to look different. And different on a day like today carries risk. The question was whether the players available to Arteta could manage that risk and find a way to win. The answer eventually was yes, but the road to get there was far from comfortable. Let us start with how Arsenal got their first goal, because it tells you something important about this team. In the 21st minute, William Saliba put Arsenal ahead. The goal came from a corner, and it was a moment that brought significant satisfaction to the home crowd. The set-piece delivery found its way to Saliba, who converted, and it was notably Saliba's first goal of the season. For a centre-back of his quality, that milestone matters. He will be pleased. Gabriel Magalhaes deserves credit as well, because it was Gabriel who was described as absolutely unstoppable in the build-up to that opening goal. The defender's physicality and movement from the set-piece created the chaos that allowed Saliba to finish. So Arsenal had the lead. They were controlling the game. And on a day when they needed 3 points, everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. Then the first major controversy arrived. Victor Gyökeres, the Arsenal striker, chased down a long ball late in the first half. He got himself into a contest with Chelsea defender Trevoh Chalobah inside the penalty area. Chalobah made an initial challenge, winning the ball cleanly according to the assessments that followed. But a second challenge came in and Gyökeres went to ground. The Arsenal players appealed immediately. The crowd believed they had a penalty. The referee waved it away. VAR checked the incident and confirmed the referee's original decision. No penalty. Gary Neville, co-commentating on Sky Sports, gave his verdict immediately. He said it looked a little too obvious. He said it was an awkward fall from Gyökeres. He said there was nothing in it, that Chalobah's initial challenge was good, and then he went further. He said directly that Gyökeres dived. Now, that is a strong statement from a pundit of Neville's experience, and the VAR ruling backed it up. Chelsea were not punished. To car, Arsenal did not get the penalty. The situation here is that Arsenal had a chance to go 2 goals ahead and kill the game before half-time. That chance did not come. And what happened in the minutes that followed made the miss of that opportunity even more costly. Chelsea had their own penalty appeal in those closing moments of the first half. Declan Rice was involved in a challenge with Uriel Hato inside the Arsenal box. And as a corner came in from Reece James, the ball struck Rice's arm. Chelsea players swarmed the referee. The away end erupted. Ian Wright, the former Arsenal striker, gave his verdict clearly, saying it was definitely a penalty. VAR looked at it. The check happened. John Brooks, the VAR official, cleared the incident and told the referee to play on. The Premier League's official Match Centre account on the platform, formerly known as Twitter, later provided the explanation. They confirmed that the referee's decision to waive away the appeal was checked and confirmed by VAR. The ruling was that there was no punishable handball offence, with Rice deemed to be challenging an opponent at the moment the ball hit his arm. Neville was not satisfied with that explanation. He said that Rice was the one imparting the physical contact, not the other way round. He said the incident did not look great for Rice. His position was that the Arsenal midfielder was fortunate. Daniel Sturridge, speaking at half-time on Sky Sports, took a different view. He acknowledged that, yes, the ball did hit Rice's arm, but he said that awarding a penalty in those circumstances would have been a soft decision. He pointed out that Rice was in a physical battle, in a jostling match, and that the contact was part of a contest rather than a deliberate attempt to handle the ball. So you had respected voices on both sides of that debate. What is not debated is what happened next. From the resulting corner, the ball went in off Piero Hincapié, an own goal. 1-0 became 1-1. And it happened in the second minute of first half added time, meaning Arsenal walked into the dressing room at half-time on level terms after having led for the majority of the first period. David Raya had made a superb save moments before Hincapié's own goal to keep out that Rice handball incident. Raya was excellent today. He rated an 8 out of 10, and rightly so. But even his brilliance could not prevent the equaliser, coming from the same corner routine. Sturridge called it a warning sign for Arsenal. He was correct. And it was a deeply frustrating sequence for Arteta to process at half-time. The Hincapié own goal is worth looking at from a fairness perspective as well, because Hincapié, the Ecuadorian defender, actually had an excellent performance overall. The assessment is that he played exceptionally well, aside from that moment, showing tireless energy and much-needed aggression in an otherwise flat collective display from Arsenal. His performance should not be defined by an unfortunate deflection, but football and headlines are not always that generous. Let us now talk about what was happening in Arsenal's attacking play across the first half and into the second, because this is where the deeper concern lies for this football club. Leandro Trossard was replaced at half-time, or more precisely, in the 56th minute. He received a rating of 2 out of 10. 2. That is almost as low as a rating gets. The assessment of his performance was described as abysmal. His afternoon was summed up by a single passage of play in the first half, where a terrible pass from the Belgian denied Arsenal a counter-attacking opportunity at a crucial moment. He was hooked, and rightly so, according to the analysis. And the conclusion drawn was a stark one. This Arsenal side is desperately in need of a top-class winger. That is not a minor observation, that is a structural problem. When your starting winger in a title-defining match produces a 2 out of 10 performance, it raises serious questions about the depth of the squad and the quality available to Arteta when injuries or form dips affect key players. Ibarrechi Eze fared only marginally better with a 3 out of 10. The playmaker had been celebrated for his performance in a previous match against Tottenham, but today he offered very little to Arsenal's attack. The pattern being identified is concerning. After a strong performance, Eze returns to a significantly lower level. That inconsistency is a problem for a team chasing a Premier League title.